I'd like to start this video by pleading with single mothers. When I say single mothers, I mean those ladies that have had a child or two before they finally got married, and most especially if those children are girls. Because what I'm going to talk about now is about the girl child, even though it's also applicable to the male child, but it's mainly for the girl child. Please, if you as a woman have made the mistake of getting pregnant out of wedlock and you respectfully carry that pregnancy to term and you delivered such a baby, it is enough kudos that I'm giving to you. But you don't have to stay in your mistake and continue to allow it to go. It is enough that you have done mistake. What is expected of you is to channel the whole of your energy in training such a child, making sure that your child does not repeat your mistake, making sure, in fact, the whole of your energy is supposed to be on this child, telling the child that the child is going to be what? Much more better than you. That the child is learning from your mistake. But majority of the time, a lot of you just keep it from these children. Instead, you turn those children into monsters. You see them as your predicament. Excuse me. You see those your children as evil. That is a wrong thing to do. Because if you love them and you know that they came as a result of what you ordered for, there is no child that jumps into the womb of any woman without that woman requesting for it. So what you need to do is to love that child and make sure you direct that child, whether it's a male child or a female child. They are not your problem. They are not the one that push you to go do what you have done. Whether you did it knowingly or it was out of rape or it was out of somebody promised you he was going to get married to you and you couldn't close your legs. You decide to open your legs and you get pregnant and that person ran away. Please take good care of this child. That child is supposed to be your pride. If you properly take good care of this child, the child is going to be your pride. Now, when you are getting married and you decide to carry your baby girl into your matrimonial home, if that child has been properly trained, the child will not do your mistake. I keep repeating it. If it is your husband or your husband brother or any other person from outside, the child already know that you have educated her. That because you made a mistake to have her, that she herself is not a mistake to you. And so she should keep her head so high until she gets married honorably. So, the story of a very young girl, very, very young girl, that is just approaching her teenage. Maybe that should even be her first menses. And a lot of you don't even get to educate your girl child to know about their body. They will just begin to see strange things. Like myself, I've shared that story here on my page. And these children will just go and mess up. And then the mother finds out that it was her partner that impregnated this baby girl. I'm calling her a baby girl because it's just a baby. A baby that is 13 years old. It's a baby. And then you send her out for her to fend for herself. You keep her with another person, an auntie or a relative or somebody somewhere, pretending that you don't know that she was pregnant. And that child gives birth. You have thereby repeating the mistake of the mother. It means that you as a mother, you are a failure. Our girl children shouldn't be going through this. See, you do your work as a mother and leave the rest for that child to know to take from either left or right. Even God, our creator, he said there are two ways. He said it. And he said this one leads to death, this one leads to life. And God concluded, he said, I wish that you would choose life so that you what? Live. So God left the power of choice in our hands. That is how you should do it for your children. You educate that child you got out of wedlock. Let the child know the mistake you have made. Let the child know if the father is alive or dead. Let the child know the relationship between you and her father. Let the child know if he or she was gotten out of rape, out of friendship. That is what people call it. Out of, I'm going to get married to you, then you couldn't hold your body. You decided to do and you got pregnant. Tell your child the real truth. And then tell your child you regret that action. But that's your child that have become the product of that action. You don't regret. Always tell that child. Such kind of a thing boosts that child's ego, boosts the child's confidence, knowing that he or she is not a problem to you. And not for you to, there are some of you that will always put it to the child that you are evil. You are the one blocking my way. If you are the cause of my problem. The child is not the cause of your problem. You cause that problem yourself. That child is a blessing to you. So when you have educated your child and your child know how he or she came about, you tell your child, it is because I lived the life like this. It was because I wasn't conscious enough. That's the reason. I still repeat to you, you are not my mistake. I made my mistake, but you are a blessing. But I don't want you to go the same route. That child will be confident. But if you hide it from the child and you keep pushing it and pulling it, putting it on top of that child, that the child is your mistake, that child will be left confused. And the child will not have any option than to follow anybody that says, I love you, I will take care of you. And in turn, the child makes more terrible mistake than you have made. Please, I beg you in God's name, love these children. Please tell them who their fathers are. Please build confidence in your children. Tell them you love them. Tell them they are not your mistake. Tell them that because of their presence, you are made strong and you don't want them to follow the same route. Tell them they are going to be great and they work. Train those children properly, please, so that we'll stop having babies, giving birth to babies. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. That your partner impregnated your daughter and you decide to cover it up. I don't know what you're covering it up for. I don't know what you are covering it up for. It is a whole human being that has been produced, and you forget that blood is thicker than water. That you hide the father of that child from that child does not mean that the child is not going to grow up and find out one day, and it is going to be terrible. So it's better make it open and leave it for the child to make his or her choice. This is my plea. And that is how this girl got pregnant by her mother's husband. Are you such a woman that covers evil for your husband or your husband's relative or your friend or your brother? Please, that is not the way to go. The way to go is to expose evil, because when you expose evil, it stops. Love that child that you got out of wedlock. That child is not your mistake. That child is not your problem. That child is supposed to make you proud.